Don't mind me, just bringing my new present from Santa. Turns out I've been a very good boy this year. This video isn't about my new lathe, but it might make an appearance on the channel soon.
So hello and welcome back. After taking a week off over Christmas, I'm now back in the workshop and we've got a few different jobs to do on this table saw router cabinet, whatever we're calling it. Can't come up with a good name. Answers in the comment. So first of all, we've got to fix a mistake, and it's a mistake I made a good few weeks ago when only one person in the comments called me out on it and spotted my mistake. So well done you. I'll try and find your name and put your name up on here as well. We'll come to that in a second to see if you guys can have a think about what I did wrong. But the main thing we need to do is sort out the router station, put some T-track in there, and the other thing we've got to do is sort out this MDF top and get this sealed, because it's not good in any kind of moisture and I am prone to spilling things because of just having no space. Stuff gets knocked over, so we need to get that sorted ASAP as well. The last thing I need to do is put some wheels on this thing. You would think that I would put them on by now, but I just haven't. I've just always got distracted with other stuff, and now it's getting quite heavy. I'm sick of walking around it, so we're going to put some wheels on and hope this thing doesn't split in half when I hoist it up again. So let's see.
Okay, now on this channel we share our mistakes. Now when I first made this top, I cut out a groove so the rack and pinion fence could move to the right. And I just assumed that when the fence was up against the blade, there'd be no overhang on the left-hand side of the table saw. I recently had to rip something to 85mm and I realised I couldn't get the fence close enough to the blade. So it looks like I need to cut out a notch on the left-hand side of the blade so that we can actually have this working in both directions. So luckily it doesn't actually overhang that much, so I just need to carve out a little notch here. So I'm just marking out with a screw, because although Santa brought me a lathe, he didn't bring me any pencils. I now found a pen, but it doesn't really want to write on MDF, but we'll muddle our way through. So I've got 2 layers of 1-inch MDF to cut through, which is set on top of an 18mm plywood. So what I'm going to use is the track saw to cut some horizontal lines. As you can see, I still don't have dust extraction sorted out for this. You can see why I call the channel Strings and Sawdust now. There will be more strings soon though. I am planning a new guitar build very, very soon. So now that's all cut out, I just need to connect these 2 lines and then pull out the MDF. Now as luck would have it, I decided to refloor my house the week before Christmas, as you do. And I invested in one of these DeWalt multi-cutter tools because I needed to trim out some door frames. So already this thing is paying for itself and coming in handy already. Trying to be careful here just to establish the line so this thing just doesn't bounce around everywhere. You've got to be fairly careful because there's a lot of vibration going around and it can just jump around if you're not careful. So looks like it's cutting like butter, so that's really good, and it's making short work of this job. Now with this top being 50mm thick, it is just slightly too big to get through in one, so I'm just going to remove the top piece with a chisel and then pop that out and then go again just to kind of get through the second piece. I promised myself I was going to tidy up the garage over the Christmas break, but as you can see it's not happened. We will get there in the end. Can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs. As you can see, that is good enough for me. Pretty nice clean cuts, and now we just need to look at the front. Much simpler job here. We just need to remove some of the trim at the front, which we're going to do with the track saw again. Can't believe how much I use this thing already. As you can see, still no dust extraction, but it is really, really good tool. If you're thinking about it on the fence, I know they're expensive, but I really would recommend them. And as you can see, I can't resist having a little feel because these are such clean cuts. And just like that, our table saw fence can now reach our blade.
Okay, so now that first job is out of the way, I think we need to address the elephant in the room. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. I did a video about 4 weeks ago about my first 6 months on YouTube, and safe to say it's done pretty well. So I put it out there when I had 1,000 subscribers, and in the video I mentioned maybe if I'm lucky enough to hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll come back and revisit the video. Now, I've hit 10,000 subscribers in 4 weeks. I thought it would take a lot longer than that. So first of all, thank you to everyone new who's subscribed and is watching these videos. It really is appreciated. Second of all, I kind of feel like I've promised a 10,000 video, but I don't know if there's any point. So let me know if you think I should do that journey to 10,000 video, or you think I should do something different, or I should just shut up and make woodwork stuff. So let me know, because the last 4 weeks have been pretty crazy with the comments and things that's coming through. It really has been great, and you know, let me know what you think, and if you have a really good idea, maybe I'll do it.
Okay, now back to the jobs. Now what we need to do here is install some T-track into this router section. So we want a piece going across the front for a mitre gauge, and then we also want either side of the router lift so we can have a fence that moves back and forwards. Now on the subject of fences, I need to work out what I'm going to do. I'm either going to make a fence or I need to buy one. Now I don't want to spend a huge amount of money on them because actually I'm probably going to be using it freehand a lot more. So if you have any recommendations, please do let me know in the comments below. And as you can see, small shot challenges continue. Just try to turn my router on at the wall there and turn the light off with my elbow. Fantastic. Now the T-track is 19mm and I've got a 12mm bit, so I'm going to do this in 2 passes. Just eyeballing it using the router guide, and it looks like I get a really tight fit here. Possibly too tight, but we got it in. It's not coming out again, so that's where it's staying. The rubber mallet wasn't quite cutting it, so we're just going to use a piece of oak just to kind of knock this down, and that's put it down in 1, so that's good. Now for the first piece I installed, it was a 600mm T-track, and then now I'm going to install 2 300mm T-tracks. So what I'm going to do is just reference 1 inch either side of the router lift, and then install them square to the top. Very, very easily, very, very quickly, using exactly the same process. So I'm going to speed this up because you know what I'm doing. And now that we've got the slot cut, I just need to square off the edges because obviously the router is going to give me a rounded edge. That's really easy to do in MDF with a chisel. So that's literally a 20-second job just to square that off and get everything looking nice. So that's 2 jobs ticked off. Now we need to think about sealing the top. Now I'm going to use this quick drying MDF clear sealer because MDF is obviously so absorbent. I was looking and doing loads of research into what to use for this top, and there's so much information out there with everyone quite opinionated about what they want to do. Now I just went for the easiest option in terms of what I could get hold of at short notice. So I've gone for this Rustin's clear sealer. I'm going to put 1 coat of this on and then I'm going to varnish it afterwards. This stuff is really watery, so it's going to go a long way, and I will leave links to anything I've used in this video with it, T-track, varnish, sealer, whatever. It's all going to be linked in the comments below. Now it is cold and wet and miserable here in the UK, so I'm going to leave this overnight to set up. It's not very good for any sort of glue drying or any sort of varnish drying. It seems to take forever, so I'm going to give this all the time it needs, put it overnight, and then come back the next day with some quick dry varnish, once again from Rustin's, just applying first coat and then leaving it at least 2 hours in between coats, but we'll see how we go because obviously you can see from outside that weather is looking pretty grim. Now should I have took the router lift out before I started applying the sealer? Yes. Could I be bothered? No. So we're just going to be careful. Almost forgot my outfeed table there, put the lid on, had to take it back off again. This thing is really great. I've used this already quite a few times, and it's really handy having that much outfeed on the back of your saw. So I left that first coat of varnish for about 3.5 hours. It's touch dry now, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding the second layer. Now it does say you can sand in between coats, but you've got the option to sand or just not sand. I'm going to take not sand every time. I know some people are very particular about getting shellac and getting everything really, really nice and smooth, but this is a shop project. As long as it's sealed, that's all that matters to me. So I'm running out of time to get this video uploaded, so although the varnish is not fully dry, I'm going to crack on and start working on the casters. I picked up these heavy duty casters off Amazon, once again links in the description below. As you can see, it comes with a template so you can make sure you're putting the screws in the right place, and these are the sorts of casters that you can raise up the workbench or you can drop it down for stability, so it just gives me as much options as I need for the shop, but also doesn't really raise the height of the workbench too much when it's actually in use. That's something that's really important. I had to have the workbench fairly high to fit the dust extraction and the shelves underneath. It's fine for me, but it would be maybe too tall for some people. Now I mentioned I am slightly concerned about lifting this thing up because it is getting quite heavy. It certainly feels heavier than I thought it would be. And when I planned it, I essentially made 2 cabinets and screwed them together, so there's not a huge amount of support going across the cabinet. So this thing very well could snap in half when I lift it up after all this work, so cross your fingers. 1 done, no loud bangs. 2 done, no loud bangs. 3. Ooh, suspense. And 4. Look at that. Look how surprised I am. Let's zoom in and see that again. And I really like how even with the casters deployed, it doesn't really raise the height of the workbench significantly at all. Now I just got to put everything together and hope it doesn't fall apart when I put the table saw in. Then I can just reattach the dust extraction that I installed in a previous video in this series. If you want to see the full series, then you can go check it out. I'll put a link to the playlist at the end. And as you can see, the fence now moves all the way up to the blade. No impedance. Perfect. Exactly what we're looking for. And we've got our router table in place. Everything is nice and varnished and looking really, really smart. This is something you're never going to see very often on the channel. I thought, as it's a special occasion, I'll sweep up. And then I can just pop up the outfeed, access the dust extraction in the back, and make sure that the table saw is plugged into the dust extractor, so as soon as the saw comes on, the dust extraction fires up straight away. And I'm really looking forward to be able to push this back into the corner because it has been right in the middle of the space, which has been an absolute nightmare to work around for the last few weeks. Next time I build something, I'm definitely going to build something a little bit smaller because I'm getting fed up with these massive projects. So definitely something, maybe a guitar coming soon, just to kind of break things up for me. But here you go, one more video probably just to finish off the router table side of things. But if you want to see that, then please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.